Well, it looks like the Harkles just tried to blackmail the royal family on their visit to the UK. But this backfired horribly and they're about to face the consequences, as you're about to find out. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. Well, according to Lady Colin Campbell, who has all the connections in all the right places, Harry and Meghan were invited to every single event of Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. And it's just a matter of common sense. If the Queen decided to extend an olive branch to the Montecito duo, it would have made sense to have them share all these amazing moments with her. That's why we saw Meghan at the window during Trooping the Colour. But then, what happened the next day at the Thanksgiving service at St. Paul's Cathedral? They were booed. They were seated on the second row and they were literally isolated from everyone. And it shouldn't have mattered since they are no longer royals. But it seems that this was how they became so triggered that decided to not attend any other event. It's understandable because I'm sure the more public moments they had, the more bold was going to be the audience in their disapproval of their presence. So they had to craft some kind of justification for the fact that they were not going to attend those events. And what did they come up with? Oh, yes, we are going to spend our days privately. Now, let me understand this. You have literally every day of the year with all the privacy you want at your California home, and when it comes to travel to the UK to celebrate the 70 years of reign of Harry's grandmother, you just close the doors and behave like a spoiled brat? You can tell me that they paid for that private jet flight just to have Netflix and chill. They could have done that at home. So that's why they said that they invited some royal friends to Lily's mystery birthday party, well knowing in advance that nobody would be able to show up because, shocking news, everyone was going to be at the Jubilee celebrations. And we introverts invented that tactic. Invite someone when you know they cannot come over. But there was something strange about that Lilibet meets Lilibet, and yes, I'm still waiting for the confirmation of either Archewell or Buckingham Palace that encounter really happened. Because all that we have regarding this matter is just public relations pieces that have no weight beyond the actual protagonist of this meeting. And I can understand that the Queen did not want the Harkles photographer around. You know, the one that would have taken pictures that Harry and Meghan could profit from. But why nobody at Buckingham Palace got their phone out for a pic? After all, for all the privacy that Harry and Meghan would want, Lilibet is technically in line to the throne, so a photo with the Queen would have been great timing for this past weekend. But there is nothing. Don't you tell me that you don't find it at least a bit suspicious? Maybe that's why Her Majesty wished Lilibet a happy birthday online. Because the meeting never happened? And part of the anger of Harry and Meghan would have been the treatment that they ultimately deserved when they were hanging around. And that was another comment from Lady Colin Campbell. The Harkles were going to arrive at the Thanksgiving service on the bus with the other lower tier royals. They got to Clarence's house to catch that bus 15 minutes late, so they had to settle in a private car escort instead. And that makes sense because eagle-eyed royalists noticed that Charles arrived in the state Rolls Royce, William in the first state Bentley, and Edward in the second. The Harkles had to come in a Range Rover with blacked-out windows. So bad, no one could see or wave at Harry and the wife. That, combined with the booing where they had to sit, sent a very clear message. You are welcome here, yes, but you are no longer relevant in any way to the royal family or their service. And in my channel, I don't just talk about body language and behavior, but also about reactions. We want to understand what is going on through people's minds when they act the way they do. In the case of Meghan and Harry, what were they thinking? I mean, about coming to the UK. I think they thought that the royal family was going to receive them like the prodigal son, validating their royal status and smiling like a Miss Universe. But they got it painfully wrong. Exactly like a Miss Universe diet, they were given the most exquisite cold shoulder in a way that was unbearable for them, blocking any attention that they could receive. And I say that the Harkles wanted to validate their royal status because, for all the monarchy is evil and the royal family are a bunch of racists, they still call themselves the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? What kind of nonsense is that? And what kind of torture for the people of Sussex? And I just can't avoid asking this question. Where is Archie? If there is no confirmation that Lilibet met the Queen, it seems that their plans just fell apart. This was not a family gathering, and all of a sudden we get Lilibet's picture in her mystery birthday party, with the perfect timing for damage control for so much criticizing that her parents got. So, let me repeat the question. Where is Archie? It's like the roles of the men in this family are being progressively and quietly deleted from records. This was the perfect opportunity for a family picture. Instead, we have a black and white photo with... who is she? What I'm sure of is that she is not Harry. We must stress the fact that leaving the UK before the Jubilee celebrations finished also prevented Archie from spending time with his extended family. And people are criticizing the Cambridge's parenting? Give me a break. And now that I mentioned those two Meghan photos, well, there is no shortage of observation about how is it possible that these two pictures were taken in less than 24 hours apart. I already made a video where you can watch my complete analysis on that, but you'll agree with me that these two Meghans look like two completely different people. Now, the question I made in that video is one that makes you think all sorts of things. Let's say in the last 6 months, when have we seen Meghan like this? Because it's so hard to believe that these two pictures were taken so close to each other. Then again, when was this black and white photo taken? When did Meghan have this complexion? You realize that everything surrounding them is a mystery? It's like Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote. And just a brief mention of Lilibet's picture to comment that, boy, the Markle genes surely won the race here. When you take a good look at Thomas side by side with Lilibet, there was no contest. There's no denying that Grandpa is going to be proud of such a lovely girl, and we wish that he gets to meet her, and of course, Archie, soon. They should have called Catherine to take those pictures. And by the way, she made a visit today to the baby bank in northwest London. I noticed that her stride was really energetic. She got much more vibrant smiles, and of course, wearing that high contrast combination also added dynamism to her demeanor. Of course, she didn't miss the opportunity to say hi to a baby, and you can tell that she's delighted of doing so. In general, I think her body language was of relief. I'm sure the Jubilee weekend was fun and exciting, but at the same time a lot of stress and friction expecting that everything went as planned. I've mentioned this a couple times, that Catherine is the one that helps William relax and put things into perspective, since he's a very tense man. But she also needs to get rid of that tension, and luckily these laid-back engagements look like the best fit for that. You can always help me spot topics to analyze following and tagging me on my Instagram account. And if you want to refine your observation skills, all you have to do is download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas, and it will always be a pleasure, my body language buddies. Much love and bliss.